Lisa too?
Especially Lisa. But especially Bert.
Lisa Buchanan. Lisa Buchanan is the least known of all of our founders, even though her books tell us about the first days of Clan Jade Falcon. We honor her privacy. Angeline Matlov, Lore Master, Clan Jade Falcon. Does that mean this segment is gonna be short? I doubt it. The ill feeling between Clan Jade Falcon and Clan Wolf festered despite the punishment meted out to the Wolf MechWarriors. Throughout the campaign to take Eden, the two clans repeatedly contested the rights to assault key targets. When discussion proved futile in resolving these disputes, the Clan Khans created a strictly administered series of rules for resolving disagreements as the only way to prevent devastating fighting between the two clans. Some of these rules were later incorporated and ritualized into the clan trials. These would be trials of possession. Clan Jade Falcon subdued the largest share of Eden, mainly because of Khan Hazen's relentless desire to avenge the death of General de Chevalier by killing anyone who might have raised a hand against him and Nicholas Kerensky. When Eden lay conquered, Clan Jade Falcon and Clan Wolf went to Dagda to help subdue that particularly rebellious world. When Nicholas Kerensky formed the clans, he stressed the honor of winning glory by fighting against the odds, but Ilkhan Kerensky made an announcement near the end of the reconquest of the Pentagon that diminished that goal. He would choose the clan that performed best in the overall campaign as his clan. This was a prize beyond price. The clan that Ilkhan commanded would be the foremost clan, and the rights to Kerensky's blood heritage would virtually guarantee that clan generations of warriors blessed with the same skills and genius as Nicholas as his father, and his father, General Kerensky. I'll give you one guess what clan would win. It's the only clan that matters. Clan Jade Falcon felt justifiably confident of being chosen. And Jade Falcon has never been arrogant before. Ha ha ha. They had fought numerous battles and gained great glory. 5 times the Ilkhan commanded them personally. Shouldn't that be commended? Maybe not. Personally, all 5 times those warriors won decisive victories. Only Clan Wolf fought as well. I wonder who's gonna win. The battle known as the Siege of the Black Brian. Sounds like a nice pub. Seemed to tip the scales in favor of Clan Jade Falcon. The Black Brian was a fortification similar in size and construction to the Castle Bryans used by the Terran hegemony. Situated on the eastern continent of Dagda, which will not be named, it dominated the only pass through the Thorin Mountains. A strong, well-trained force of warriors claiming allegiance to the ways of the Lyran Commonwealth overran the fort during the first days of the Exodus Civil Wars. Though the fort got its name from the way its walls got blackened during various battles of the Civil Wars, the Black Brian's defenders still represented formidable opposition. The clans needed to destroy that pocket of resistance in order to reassert their control over that part of the planet, and so the Ilkhan himself assumed command of the Jade Falcon troops, setting the stage for a particularly bloody and fateful battle. That never happens in Battletech. The record of this battle also marks the first mention of Lisa Buchanan in the annals of Jade Falcon. Though she commanded an assault star in the Siege of the Black Brian, her name does not appear on the rosters of those who joined the Exodus or served in the SLDF. Our archivist spent many hours researching the name and finally discovered someone they believe is the Lisa Buhalan who helped create Clan Jade Falcon, a woman born into a poor farming family on the Karita world of Trondheim. Yeah, they're looking for Lisa. Especially Lisa! Upon graduating from a college prep school, Ivy Leaguer, Lisa accepted a scholarship to Pacific Lutheran University. Good old PLU. A respected liberal arts college just kilometers from Unity City. This part of her background makes her role in the clans somewhat surprising. Before her induction into the clans, Lisa Buhalan apparently showed no interest in the military profession. At university, Lisa followed her first love and became a well-liked member of the Creative Writing Program. One of those pansy, bleeding heart liberals or whatever. No one knows how Lisa survived the years of the Amorous Reign, or how she came to join Kerensky and the regular army. Circumstantial evidence suggests that she either belonged to Hazen's Ghosts of the Black Watch, or had a relationship with a member of that guerrilla force. Even her status as a member of the Ghosts, however, does not explain how someone with her lack of military and practical skills managed to join the Exodus when General Kerensky left behind others possessing greater military and civilian expertise. How she managed to become an elite warrior of one of Nicholas Kerensky's clans, and a MechWarrior at that, also remains a mystery. Even the Falcon lore masters cannot find a satisfactory explanation for her appearance. Just poof! The plot demands it, and she's there. Clan archives might have answered our questions, but Nicholas deliberately destroyed many of the records relating to the members of the Exodus as part of his effort to create a new society, free from the tainted past. Yep, you didn't see anything. Our few insights come from Lisa herself, who wrote one of the few accounts of the clan's creation outside the Remembrance. The true and faithful account of the first days of Clan Jade Falcon, that's not a pretentious title at all, is required reading for anyone interested in an in-depth account of the clan's early days. But even this book contains only a few references to its author. In one of the rare passages revealing anything personal, Lisa Buhalan remembers her first battle as the most uplifting, liberating minutes of my life, where once I could only be myself at the keyboard of a word processor or with pen and paper. Tabletop gamer, I was suddenly shouting for joy and piloting my Atlas. Oh, jeez. Go right from the paper to the 100-ton mech. As if I were a giddy schoolgirl converting in a field of spring flowers. Okay. Nor did it matter one damn bit that I was killing people as I did so. Okay. Get you into that Jade Falcon mindset. It is unlikely that she felt so much joy when she led her mechs against the Black Brian fortifications on Data. Ilkhan Kerensky ordered her to neutralize one of the large weapon turrets, assigned her unit minimal support, and then watched the assault. Her star accomplished its objective, but Lisa Buhalan paid a high price for the victory. A grievous wound ended her short but notable Jade Falcon military career. That's what you get for a trial of grievance, or a trial of grievous. Trial of grievous wound. Lisa Buhalan recovered, whatever, and earned the position of the clan's second Khan and first lore master. She spent her last days writing her history of the clans and composing passages for their remembrance. She also became a trusted counselor to Ilkan Kerensky, helping him turn his vision of clan society into laws and regulations. And then no more pages, thank Kerensky. Okay. What do we have left? The culling! It is with great pleasure that I announce which clan shall become home to my heart and the hearts of those Kerenskys who will follow. The clan I have chosen possesses a collective intelligence I admire, the burning passion of true hunters that I desire, and above all is blessed with the spirit which will serve as a beacon to all the rest. I choose to mingle my blood legacy with Clan Wolf, the only clan that matters. Ilkan Nicholas Kerensky. Clan Jade Falcon's hopes for ultimate glory died when Nicholas Kerensky chose to tip his destiny to Clan Wolf. Oh no. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Publicly, the clan reacted to the announcement by swearing anew their undying loyalty to the Ilkan and his new command. Privately, they reeled with shock and outrage. Oh, how could this happen to us? Nicholas Kerensky delivered a second announcement at the same time, revealing that the Pentagon worlds were now divided into clan-ruled spheres of control, known as enclaves. Oh, I've heard about the Enclave. They're not nice guys. And Jade Falcon received large portions of Dagda and Eden to rebuild and shape in keeping with Nicholas Kerensky's dream. The Ilkan provided a few general orders for the reconstruction of the worlds, then returned to Strana Mekti. Bye, guys! The warriors of Clan Jade Falcon harbored a deep resentment toward Nicholas Kerensky for passing them over for the clan's greatest honor. And a common refrain ran through the rank and file. Did we not fight more often and with greater skill than the wolves? Have we not given our very lives to prove our worth? Are we not entertained? Discontent spread, and some warriors went beyond questioning the Ilkan's decision to also question the validity of his dreams of a caste-driven society. Oh, how could we ever doubt you, Nicholas Kerensky? You're so crazy and wonderful, dear leader. More than a year passed, during which Khans Hazen and Buhalan made little effort to stop the growing discontent, perhaps a sign of their personal misgivings. The malcontents, emboldened by lack of punishment, carried their argument to its logical conclusion and declared that if the Ilkan failed to see the superiority of Clan Jade Falcon, then perhaps they should strike out on their own. Rebellious against the rebellions. Within days of that statement, the Ilkan sent a message to Eden announcing his arrival to meet with the leaders of Clan Jade Falcon. The Khan's indecision finally ended in furious action. The Khans and high officers of Clan Jade Falcon fell upon the rank and file in what came to be called the culling, referring to the falconry practice of casting out immature falcons too small or frail to be trained. Those who questioned Clan Jade Falcon's role in Kerensky society were subjected to severe physical punishment, or were sent to explore marginally habitable worlds in the Kerensky cluster. The ringleaders of the insurrection, 2 officers and 10 enlisted personnel, were executed and their bodies put on display. Yeah, what else would you think would happen if you went to Nicholas Kerensky, the crazy guy? By the time the Ilkan arrived on Eden to be ceremoniously greeted by the Khans and command staff of Clan Jade Falcon, the culling was over. No clan record hazards even a guess at whether Nicholas Kerensky knew of the growing unrest and announced his trip to galvanize the clan's leaders into action. easy to believe considering the timing of his visit or whether those events were coincidental. Whatever the intent, the effect of the Ilkhan's visit to Clan Jade Falcon was clear then, and still visible today. Of all the clans, Jade Falcon considers herself the most loyal to the ways of the two great Kerenskis. Of course they do. We are all right, and everybody who's not right is wrong. Conservative in action and in word, the post-culling voice of Clan Jade Falcon consistently demands that all the clans remain in line with what the Kerenskis intended. We have the only one true vision. Of course, they also claim to be the only clan that understands exactly what the Kerenskis had in mind. So narrow is their interpretation of the clan's destiny and the Kerenskis' intentions that anyone who raises the least question concerning either is punished with a severity that shocks even other conservative clans. I don't know what kind of punishment that would be. Okay. Golden Century! I do not begrudge our brother wolves their wealth, nor do I begrudge them their successful exploration. However, I question whether or not they remember Nicholas Kerenski's admonition to those who would strive to rise above others. Know that the nail that sticks out from the rest has to be pounded. Khan Natalie Buchanan in a speech before the Grand Council. A new era among the clans began when Nicholas Kerensky died at the hands of Clan Widowmaker during the latter's trial of refusal. Clan Wolf avenged his death by obliterating Widowmaker, the clan that shall not be named, but is named here, and erasing that clan from the records of clan society. But Kerensky's death also stripped the clans of the only leadership they had ever known. Clan Wolf destroyed what it could of Clan Widowmaker's assets and took the rest as Isorla, spoils of war, which vastly increased the wolves' material wealth. This prompted yet another clash with Clan Jade Falcon, who's feeling jealous, just like the middle child, whose Khans opposed Clan Wolf, gaining all Widowmaker's wealth. Well, they won, so what do you have to say about it? Though the Falcons applauded the Wolves' ferocity in avenging the death of their beloved leader, dear leader, they claimed that Clan Widowmaker's assets should be divided equally among the clans. What are you, some kind of commie socialist or something? Their objection did not spring from an overdeveloped sense of fairness. The Falcons feared their rivals growing even more economically powerful and their wealth giving them new importance in the Grand Council. Can't have that. If the Wolves became too powerful, their clans might begin throwing their support to Clan Wolf's dangerous liberal sentiments. Can't have those liberals. Clan Wolf, the only clan that matters. But Clan Jade Falcon was fighting a losing battle and asking the Grand Council to flout Nicholas Kerensky's tenet that the spoils of battle belong to the victor. The Grand Council roundly rejected the Falcons' petition to divide Widowmaker's assets among all the clans, and the Falcons' worst fears were realized. Clan Wolf rose to prominence as the most powerful clan, the only clan that matters, dominating the Grand Council with Clan Widowmaker's assets. Many conservative clans began looking to the Wolves and their Kerensky blood for guidance, and the most conservative clans, including Jade Falcon, Smoke Jaguar, and Star Adder, could not stem the tide. The conservative and the other conservatives are... that's not the way that should... Conservative clans join the Wolves, and the most conservative clans could not stop the conservative clans from joining the Wolves. That is not how you use those words. Though the clans had lost their great leader, dear leader, they have come to call the decades following Nicholas's death the Golden Century. For those years saw the new society's greatest expansion and development. Tremendous leaps forward in science and technology continued to reshape the clan. One of the most important developments were the artificial wombs that allowed scientists to routinely produce healthy human babies. This invention led to the Sibco system, whereby sibling companies of 20 children each were born from sperm and ova donated by heroic but anonymous warriors. Sibco training ensured that only the best became warriors in the clan. Warrior caste increased by leaps and bounds. That's what the Sibco thing is. We call him Sibco reject, and why free birth is a terrible slur. The civilian sector of clan society expanded as science and technology unfolded. Science and technology unfolded. That's a strange use of verb. Exploration and commerce became the twin obsessions of the non-warrior castes, giving them a means to escape their strictly structured lives. A steadily increasing flow of raw materials from newly settled colonies in the Kerensky cluster boosted industry and raised the standard of living of every civilian. Rise together! Trickle-down economics or something. The resulting surge of civilian well-being had repercussions, however, as always these things do in Battletech, particularly in Clan Jade Falcon, who could not get along with anyone. The Falcons followed the other clans' example at first, founding major colonies in the Kerensky cluster and stepping up production of transport jump ships to supply the colonies and bring back raw materials for the new and existing Falcon factories. Clan Jade Falcon leaders believed that the ambitious plan would help them keep up with the growing wealth and prestige of Clan Wolf. Oh, see how that goes for you. But Clan Jade Falcon failed to recognize the colonists' desire for fewer caste restrictions in order to better function as a pioneering community. Oh, people don't want to be oppressed? Well, go figure. To begin with, Clan Jade Falcon considered greater freedom for the lower castes a blasphemous idea, even though other clans were temporarily easing the caste laws. Disputes between the warriors and the other castes swept the Falcon colonies, and neither the caste councils nor the Grand Council could resolve them. One colony finally acted, requesting permission from the Grand Council to leave the Jade Falcons and merge with another clan, preferably Clan Wolf. Oh, they're defecting. Seceding and joining another clan. The Jade Falcon leaders once again accused Clan Wolf of attempting to steal Falcon property. Of course they would! In an immediate and typical response, Clan Jade Falcon sent warriors to every Falcon colony but the military bases and disbanded them, killing those colonists who openly rebelled against the caste system. That's a way to gain loyalty, of course. They sent the rest back to Falcon enclaves in the Pentagon and on the more developed cluster worlds, and scrapped or sold most of the Falcon civilian fleet to other clans. During the invasion of the Inner Sphere, a century later, this lack of a civilian fleet seriously hampered Clan Jade Falcon's supply lines. Oh no! Repercussions of the future! That's never gonna happen. The upheaval over the colonists occurred early in the Golden Century. The upheaval over the colonists. Maybe the upheaval over the colonies? Other clans believed that the Falcons had unnecessarily cut themselves off from a source of great wealth and would be forced to sit by and watch the other clans bring in shiploads of profit from their colonies. But several far-sighted members of the Falcon merchant class proved them wrong. They entered the then insignificant market of intercaste commerce as middlemen and bankers, becoming the pivot of the clan's economic boom. Sharp as the talons of a Falcon banker became a popular expression as Falcon merchants revealed great skill and cunning in their chosen field of endeavor. Good for them. Instead of being hopelessly poor, Clan Jade Falcon held great economic power by the end of the Golden Century. Other clans acknowledged their power by paying more serious attention to the Falcon's conservative political views. And that's the end of the Golden Century. What's next? Call of the Crusades! Suggesting that the clans will not one day return to Terra is akin to a man suggesting that the sun will not shine tomorrow. And that Clan Jade Falcon has forgotten the words of the great Kerenskis. Oh, evoking the words of the founders. Always a way to spur the masses. Can Vandervan Chistu in a speech before the Grand Council. The decades of expansion and growth changed the clan's attitude toward the Inner Sphere. Those who had followed General Kerensky from the Inner Sphere firmly believed that they did so voluntarily. They may have dreamed of returning, but the harsh reality of the Pentagon worlds made it clear that that day would never come. Generations later, the common citizen lived in a society very different from those of the Inner Sphere. A social system that bound him, his children, and his children's children, and his children's children's children's, and his children's 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 former nephew's cousin's former roommate to a certain role in life. Perhaps it was in response to an unspoken feeling of discontent, especially among the lower castes, that clan lore masters created elaborate tales promising that future generations made pure by clan society would form an army of Prometheans to bring back the light of true civilization to the essentially good but backward people of the Inner Sphere. This would be the foundings of the Crusader movement. That view eroded during the latter years of the Golden Century. Pity for their unenlightened Inner Sphere brethren gave way to contempt and anger. Urgh. Generation of clansmen now believe that the leaders of the five great houses had forced General Kerensky to flee the Inner Sphere. Alexander Kerensky's decision to leave was no longer a completely selfless act. They believe he and his followers were suffering involuntary exile. Yeah, spin that however you want it. This attitude spread throughout the clans. Even the lower castes began to consider the people of the Inner Sphere as cruel barbarians. Or cool barbarians, after all, who deserved to be conquered by an obviously superior society. Ah, yes, social Darwinism has never done anything wrong ever. Interestingly enough, as the clans lost respect for their counterparts in the Inner Sphere, they began to believe that the worlds they had left behind were virtual paradises, especially Terra and the worlds that made up the old Terran hegemony. Their lore made every planet into an Eden, an extraordinary combination of nature, climate, and resources. Earth, wind, fire, air, and heart. The clans began to question the justice of a universe in which barbarians occupied these blessed worlds while they, the truly civilized, lived in exile on barely habitable planets. One Jade Falcon warrior summed up the clan's general feeling. God showed us the door out of Eden and held it open to let the devil and his followers in. Oh, God will get you for that. All these gradual changes led the clans to believe that the time to retaliate, that the time to retake what was rightfully theirs had come. Advocates for immediate action called themselves Crusaders, and their ranks grew quickly as they rallied to support council and caste board members who believed as they did. They protested the Grand Council's refusal to open the question to debate. The Grand Council remained officially neutral on the question. I have no strong opinions either way. Call my wife and tell her hello. Preferring to believe it was only a phase of public opinion. The Khans of Clan Wolf and Clan Coyote traditionally dominated the Grand Council. There's one of the few mentions of Clan Coyote in here. Another staunch warden clan that had some power but was not chosen as one of the invading clans. I believe Clan Coyote also invented the Omni-Mech. Traditionally dominated the Grand Council, and the other Khans held too little power to force the issue against their united front. Together, those four Khans represented the core of the Crusaders' opposition, calling themselves Wardens. After passage in Nicholas Kerensky's diary saying it was the clan's role to ward the Inner Sphere from all outside forces until that time when the Star League is reborn. Yeah, whatever that means. Flimsy plot meanings for the Warden cause. Just to have somebody for the Crusaders to fight against. The Wardens held sway in the Grand Council for many years, but as moderate clans fell under the sway of growing public hysteria about returning to the Inner Sphere, that balance changed. The number of trials of grievance fought over the question increased steadily, the number of resulting deaths alarming the Khans of all clans. By 2980, when Clan Jade Falcon successfully introduced the issue to the Grand Council for discussion, the question had become too pressing and too divisive to be ignored. So we'll just keep killing each other's guys until we're ready to invade. Yes, that's a surefire way to build a wonderful war machine, of course. Winds of Change. Ooh, that's a great Scorpion song. Because we adhere strictly in the words of Kerensky, all cast members, from the least skilled laborer to the best warrior, hold only one opinion on the Crusader question. Khan Ivan Hazen in a speech to the Grand Council. Clan Jade Falcon never doubted that the Crusader view was right. Gee, you think? Their strict conservative adherence to Kerensky's word led them to conclude that now was the time to return to the Inner Sphere, and the Jade Falcon Khans demanded that the Grand Council open the issue for discussion. They argued eloquently that the Kerenskys intended the clans to grow and prosper until they reached a size and strength sufficient to successfully re-establish the Star League among the uncivilized masses of the Inner Sphere, a point the Crusaders felt the clans had reached long ago. Well, it turns out they kinda hadn't. They supported their argument by reading long passages from the Kerensky's words with an almost evangelical fervor. Well, yep, there we go, invoking the words of the founders again. Clan Jade Falcon and Clan Smoke Jaguar quickly took the lead in the Crusader movement. Spokespersons toured the Pentagon world, speaking to enthusiastic audiences. They spread their gospel of clan destiny to larger and larger crowds, and their fiery orations brought rallies to the brink of rioting. Though the clans of these speakers disavowed any intention to provoke violence, clans Wolf and Coyote seemed particularly hard hit by these huge, unruly gatherings. Billy Graham of the future. In addition to the popular quasi-religious reasons for invading the Inner Sphere, Clan Jade Falcon had strong economic reasons. Their banking prowess continued to grow, and the Falcon Khans knew it was in their clan's best interest to open new markets. Yeah, that's the problem when you're banking on ever-increasing expansion. You have to keep expanding somehow. The number of worlds in the Kerensky cluster was sizable, but ultimately limited. Clan Jade Falcon saw the worlds of the Inner Sphere, most of which had never been exploited to their full potential, as a financial motherlode. Oh, yes. Invade and exploit. The compromise. I do not trust the wolves, for they have proven themselves creatures of opportunity, of individualism, of lax morals, and of unforgivable disregard for our origin. Yet I respect them, for they are warriors, bred true in accordance with our tradition. But to send the wolves freeborn bastards to the Inner Sphere is folly heaped on folly. Fellow Khans, I swear upon my oath, to Jakina herself that once these lowborns are free of clan obedience, they will never willingly return. We will be talking about Wolf's Dragoons. Oh yeah, it says that right there. Khan Ivan Hazen, in his speech to the Grand Council during the Wolf's Dragoons debates. In an attempt to slow the Crusader juggernaut, the Warden faction agreed to a series of expeditions to the Inner Sphere, each more ambitious than the last, that would gather information about the current state of the Inner Sphere militaries and governments. Of these missions, the last was by far the most controversial. In the year 3000, some kind of Futurama reference that I'm not coming up with for some reason. Khan Curlin Ward of Clan Wolf presented a stunning plan to the Grand Council. He proposed that a force of clan warriors disguised as mercenaries infiltrate the Inner Sphere to gain first-hand information about each successor state's military. This is very cunning, actually, and very clever. In the debate that followed, the Crusaders made it plain that they were already prepared to invade the Inner Sphere based on the information available. Yeah, let's go! Come on! Khan Ivan Hazen, the senior Khan of Jade Falcon, grumbled that at the rate the clans were moving, the Star League would be reborn just in time for the collapse of the universe. Hyperbole for the win! But the plan proved too logical for even the Crusaders to defeat, and the Grand Council voted to implement it. Khan Nadia Winston, chairperson of the Grand Council and a moderate warden, awarded Clan Wolf the right to draw plans for the force. And 3 weeks later, Clan Wolf returned to the Grand Council with Wolf Dragoons, a force of freeborn warriors from the clan's police clusters to be commanded by 2 freeborn brothers. The idea of freeborn warriors carrying out such an important mission infuriated Khan Hazen. Of course it would, being all the conservative she wants to be. We would use Clan Wolf's Khan Ward of deliberately designing a force likely to fail and or send back an inaccurate picture of the Inner Sphere's strength. Khan Ward argued that even freeborn warriors must be superior to Inner Sphere soldiers, and pointed out that it made more sense to risk freeborns on this mission than trueborns, who would be needed for the actual invasion. Unconvinced, Khan Hazen and the Khans of Clan Spoke Jaguar also questioned the freeborns' loyalty, making dire predictions of their eventual defection to the successor states, when they would form the 5 houses of the clan's existence. This prediction, of course, would eventually prove true. The determined support of Khan Winston, the Warden faction, and key neutral clans pushed the Dragoons' proposal through the Grand Council over the strenuous objections of clans Jade Falcon and Smoke Jaguar, who can't get along with anyone. Rice Star, Elias Kreichel. Rice Star is a contraction of Rising Star and is not related at all to the Tri-Star that I am. In clan politics, success has more to do with speed, persistence, and aggressiveness than with less important qualities such as intelligence, morality, and soul. Don't need intelligence if you're in the clans. Ha 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 ha. Khan Elias Kreichel in conversation. Khan Ivan Hazen considered the Wolf's Dragoons' compromise a galling and bitter snub to common sense that demanded a response. She immediately decided to challenge Khan Ward to a trial of refusal. Of course she would! I refuse everything! Before she could deliver the challenge, however, Galaxy Commander Elias Kreichel, her newest and most trusted advisor, diverted her anger. The aging Khan, not to be confused with the Khan, she suffered arthritis from her many battle wounds. How does that work? Trusted the young Rice Star officer above all others. She saw and appreciated his many qualities, including a voice like the cry of a proud falcon, eyes that can see the patterns beneath the truth, beneath the brush, sorry, and in mind possessing a hurricane of possibilities that will rock you. Ilias was born and raised on Gatekeeper in the Red Fist Communal Birth Facility. Oh, not to be confused with the Red Faction Communal Birth Facility. A second-rate Cipco installation using parent gene combination considered unlikely to produce warriors of any importance. Indeed, the scientist cast viewed the Krychel line as a particularly muddy gene pool. Well, that's kind of an insult. And the clan's condescending attitudes toward any blood heritage but that of the 5 founders affected the young warrior's personality. Of his Cipco, only Ilias survived military training on Ironhold to become a MechWarrior. The rest died or suffered crippling injuries. Whoa, wow, how about that? That's some intense training. Rumors, admittedly from Wolf officers, suggest that Ilias' victory over 2 Sipkin in his trial position was such that the judges spent several hours debating his worth as a warrior. I don't understand why that would be a thing. Why would you doubt them? Because the Sipkin are weak? Do you think he's cheating or something? Assigned to Peregrine Galaxy, Ilias quickly demonstrated his capability in several duels and skirmishes with other clans. He exhibited particular skill at criticizing and antagonizing Clan Wolf. Yes, he does. Which he considered a collection of fat, pompous merchants who called themselves warriors. Merchants, eh? Wasn't Clan Jade Falcon the one who's trying to push for new banker things in the economics and such? He won honor for his victory over a blood-named wolf warrior in a trial that settled a border dispute between the 2 clans. As admirable as were his battlefield skills, they paled in comparison to his political and oratory skills. From the very beginning of his career in the Falcon Tuman, Ilias showed his political ambitions by currying favor with the clan's elite. He became Clan Jade Falcon's most fervent crusader. Yes, he did. When the Crusader cause became more popular in other clans, Star Captain Ilias gained notice as one of the movement's most sought-after speakers. He toured the clan worlds and elsewhere, and spoke of every enclave, even those of the staunchest warden clans. His orations appealed to the crowd's sense of history and destiny, and laid the blame for all of their problems at the feet of his clan's opponents with a style that put the most proficient, muckraking, two-faced intersphere politician to shame. Let's make Clan Jade Falcon great again! Khan Hazen approved of Ilias' barnstorming. Her advanced age and disabilities forced her to reflect on her successor as Senior Khan. And though she approved of Khan Sejanus Buhalan, her equal in everything but seniority, she considered him too politically naive to take the lead in the Crusader movement. Ilias was eminently capable of pursuing Hazen's dream for the Crusaders' triumph, but several serious obstacles stood in the way of his succession to Khan. His age, rank, lack of a blood name, stumbling block there, and his lack of any ties with the bloodlines of the Jade Falcon founders. Khan Hazen could not change his age, but she awarded him the rank of Star Colonel in 3020. She then resigned her command of the Turkina Keshik, placing the new Star Colonel in command of that elite unit, a posting traditionally assigned to the clan's eventual leader. A year later, the new Star Colonel won his Krychel blood name. Good for him. Now he can be respected and sit at the cool table. The appointment of so young a man to so prestigious a post created immediate tensions between between Ilias Krychel and Khan Sejanus Buhalan, who was equally ambitious. Soon the clan split into 2 factions, each bent on discrediting the leader of the other. Khan Hazen recognized the tension between the two camps, but asserted that competition on all things was healthy. Yeah, it always is. It never ends up in dividing yourselves or anything. Wolf's Dragoons finally tipped the scale in favor of the more conservative Falcons. Before the split, most Falcons agreed with Khan Hazen and Star Colonel Elias' opinion that the Dragoons' freeborn warriors would eventually betray the clans. Oh no, how could you betray the clans? Only Sejanus Buhalin and a handful of his supporters dared suggest that the information the Dragoons relayed to the Grand Council be considered seriously. As the Third Succession War ground to a halt in the Inner Sphere, so too did the reports from the Dragoons. While many clans reserved judgment on the scouting party, Elias Krychel and his faction within the Falcons launched a series of scathing attacks discrediting the Dragoons. Yeah, of course. You can always slander somebody who's not there. They accused the Freeborns of going native, blamed Clan Wolf for their part in organizing the traitor unit, and condemned Khan Sejanus Buhalin for trusting the Dragoons. The attack weakened Khan Buhalin's position. Sensing an opportunity to advance his own cause, Elias issued a stream of accusations through the spokespersons of his faction, accusing Sejanus of closet warden sentiments and liberal attitudes towards freeburns. Oh no! Sejanus was forced to challenge Elias to duels, challenges that Elias alternately ignored or referred to Khan Hazen for advisement. Khan Hazen eventually interceded to end the feud, but in so doing, cast blame for the entire situation on Sejanus, stripping him of any remaining credibility and choosing Elias Krychel as her successor to lead Clan Jade Falcon. All the political maneuvering. Several months later, Sejanus Buhalin died in a mech explosion. Poof! She was like, didn't like the contract or something. She was written out of the series. The official investigation blamed a freak ammunition feeder jam, but many believe that Sejanus allowed the accident to end his shame. Others believed Elias Krychel's supporters staged the accident to rid the leader of his rival. You got a nice mech there. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to it. The Go Vote. Collect $200. Or C-bills, I should say. This day, fellow Khans, will be remembered years from now as the dawning of Aquarius. The dawning of mankind's rebirth. No longer must these barbarian hordes suffer through the dark, violent night of their own folly. We are returning. We are the sun of righteousness that will illuminate those who dream of peace, and burn to ashes the demons and devils responsible for the darkness. Khan Elias Krychel in a speech before the Grand Council, November 3048. Peace through power! Despite the shame of the Dragoons' apparent defection, Clan Wolf and the other Warden clans held enough influence to stall debate on returning to the Inner Sphere until the opening actions of the Fourth Succession War, which allowed the Wardens to again postpone the invasion decision until the war ended and the clans could analyze the consequences. The Grand Council records seem to imply that the Wardens used the Fourth Succession War and the War of 3039 that followed as arguments against an invasion. They reasoned that the two wars proved that the Inner Sphere was not ready for a restored Star League. Well, that's pretty true. Invasion now, with the Inner Sphere still so decisively split among the successor states, would force the clans to occupy the entire Inner Sphere, something they had neither the numbers nor the inclination to undertake. Yeah, that's true. Clan Jade Falcon and Smoke Jaguar countered by declaring their preparedness to conquer the entire Inner Sphere and force their will upon the vanquished. Yeah, we'll do it all by ourselves. Yeah, we're the best clans, and all you other clans are not important. The The majority of the council still felt deep reservations, however, and agreed to postpone the invasion issue. When Clan Smoke Jaguar captured our ROM exploration vessel, Outbound Light, the invasion debate took a dramatic and final turn. Smoke Jaguar and Jade Falcon interrogators extracted a new and potentially threatening picture of the Inner Sphere from the minds of the ship's crew. The news of greatest importance was the alliance between the Lyran Commonwealth and the Federated Suns. They would become the Federated Commonwealth. This nearly complete merger placed more than half the Inner Sphere under one apparently stable government. Well, it's not going to last. Though threats existed against the Steiner and Davian families, the rulers of the newly united realm, these efforts remained relatively disorganized, their leaders inclined to bicker among themselves, just like they always do. Clan experts deduced, and rightly so, that the only way this new federated commonwealth could fail to become the Inner Sphere's preeminent power was if its leaders committed some grievous error. A possibility experience told them was very unlikely. No, that's right. In addition, the Inner Sphere had recently acquired the memory cores of several Star League-era computers, giving the entire region access to technology only slightly less advanced than that of the clans. This would be called Lost Tech, and it's a way of getting the Inner Sphere sort of up on the level with the clans and the level 2 weapons and such. These revelations shocked the Grand Council. The Inner Sphere's apparent position on the verge of disintegration was a lie. Far from being weak and simply waiting for the clans to step in and assume control, the Inner Sphere seemed on the verge of uniting and resurrecting the Star League without the clans' assistance. Oh, we can't do that. Incontrovertible evidence that the Inner Sphere could find its way to the clan homeworlds. Ooh, that's even worse. Together with the possibility of facing a united Inner Sphere equipped with Star League technology, forced many clans to reconsider their views. The arguments of Clan Wolf and Clan Coyote were dismissed in light of this new information. Born upon a tidal wave of apprehension, the Crusaders once again petitioned the Grand Council to debate the invasion of the Inner Sphere, and this time they won. Hooray! We can move the plot forward and start putting out those new technical readouts and field manuals and all the cool campaigns and mechs and stuff. The cons of Clan Smoke Jaguar and Con Hazen and Con Krychel recently installed Windows 7, no, sorry, as Junior Con. Shouldn't that be Sakon? Of Clan Jade Falcon played on the fears growing in the minds of many neutral cons. Their dire predictions, coupled with promises of great glory, proved no match for the Wardens, who tried but failed to allay the Grand Council's concerns. Yes, let's make the Star League great again. Where have I heard that before? The Crusaders won by a landslide. Every clan except Clan Wolf voted to invade the Inner Sphere and pave the way for the Star League's rebirth. Clan Wolf, though divided internally between the Warden and Crusader factions, stood united to demand that the Grand Council grant them a trial of refusal. Yeah, let's start killing more of our guys before we can kill the other guys. The fierce bidding among the clans for the honor of representing the Grand Council against Clan Wolf substantially reduced the odds, and the final trial pitted the third Wolf battle cluster against clusters from 4 clans. The Jade Falcons fielded the Falcon Guards. The trial took place on Mars Field on Stratomecti and was a much closer contest than the odds suggested. However, the sheer number and ferocity of the Grand Council forces, particularly that of the Falcons Assault Cluster, carried the day, and they decimated the Wolf Cluster, much to the pleasure of Khan Elias Krychel and his aides, and much to the pleasure of anybody who would like to play mech games that involve the clan doing stuff instead of not doing stuff. Clan Smoke Jaguar and Jade Falcon, riding high on their victory and newfound influence, persuaded the Grand Council to elect Khan Leo Showers of Clan Smoke Jaguar as Ilkhan. The decision met with some resistance among Jade Falcon warriors who believed Khan Hazen deserved the honor. Khan Hazen herself put an end to their objections by announcing her retirement from the post of Senior Khan. The new Ilkhan, eager to demonstrate his disdain for Clan Wolf, issued a recall order to Wolf's Dragoons, confident that few, if any, of the freeborn forces would heed the recall and return to the clan worlds. Khan Elias Krychel, this cunning bastard. Success will depend on our devotion to the words of the great Kerenskis and on how we manage the bid against the other clans for what little glory will be won in the inner sphere. Khan Elias Krychel in an address to Peregrine Galaxy. It's very interesting how the Jade Falcons still bring up the word of Kerensky, even though Kerensky chose to be the clan Wolf persuasion. Kind of interesting. Khan Elias Krychel's official installation as leader of Clan Jade Falcon took place in a 3-day ceremony that began with a night-long vigil at the altar of the Hazen Cathedral and ended when Khan Hazen laid the Jade Falcon cloak upon his shoulders, as oaths of fealty from the caste leaders and every warrior rang in his ears. Very ceremonial. Khan Hazen's retirement did not last long. Just 2 weeks after Khan Krychel assumed control of Clan Jade Falcon, his aging mentor died in the cockpit of her mech, apparently of a self-induced drug overdose. Okay. Why don't you just shoot up in your mech, I guess? Freed from any rivals to his command, Khan Krychel began to assert his authority. Respect my authority! His first move was to promote Galaxy Commander Timur Malthus to the position of Junior Khan. Yeah, that should be Sakhan. And give him command of the prestigious Jade Falcon Galaxy. He then proceeded to shuffle the commands of most Falcon Galaxies and their trainers, promoting those he knew were loyal to him, and demoting those whose loyalty he doubted. A little bit of the Stalinist action there. While these staffing moves secured his position, they would later prove costly to Clan Jade Falcon's military effectiveness. Oh, just like what happened to the Stalin machine in the USSR. Khan Krychel next began to strengthen the relationship between Clan Jade Falcon and the clan of the new Ilkhan, Smoke Jaguar. Oh, best of buddies, BFFs forever. They exchanged lavish gifts of lands, material, and genetic materials. No, not gonna do that. Khan Krychel's machinations were so obvious that observers wondered sarcastically if the two leaders planned to merge their clans and perhaps name it Smoked Falcon. Oh, that's kind of funny, actually. On internal issues, the Jade Falcon's new leader proved even more conservative than his predecessor. For example, he revoked most of the powers granted to the intercaste councils responsible for arbitrating disputes between the castes. When a subcaste of steelworkers objected to the loss of autonomy and staged a strike, he sent in police trinaries to hunt down and shoot the leaders. And they never found the body of MechWarrior Hoffa. One explanation for Elias Krychel's ruthless conservatism claimed that he was at heart ashamed of his mediocre blood heritage and overcompensated for fear he would be accused of not deserving his high rank. No, who would ever overcompensate? Perhaps to justify his ruthless action in the strike, Khan Krychel reinstated the Grace of Preeminence clause for his clan. Written by Nicholas Kerensky in collaboration with founder Lisa Buhalin, the rule gave all warriors legal power to act without the need to consult authorities. and to inflict punishment for offenses, real or imagined, including death sentences with almost no restraints. Oh, that's not gonna bite you in the ass at any time. I should say bite you in the rear torso. Most other clans recognize the Grace Clause as a tool used only to ensure that the last vestiges of the rebellion that caused the Exodus Civil War were eliminated from clan society. That goal achieved, the clause was largely abandoned until Elias Prychel resurrected it to enforce Clan Jade Falcon's control of the lower castes and make them do as they say. Operation Revival. I will return momentously. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, or subscribe. You can also interact with me on Twitter and Facebook at L1011Widebody. And if you'd like, you can pledge to sponsor me at patreon.com/L1011Widebody.